we are more than 6 weeks now into this partial government shutdown, and there's still no deal in sight. Lawmakers in Washington, well, those who've remained in Washington, they remain at odds over how to fund the Department of Homeland Security and what to do about immigration enforcement.
And meantime, we continue to see long lines at airports across the country. The security line at BWI stretched outside the airport on Saturday. Crazy long lines. On Friday, President Trump signed an executive order so TSA workers could get paid today, but many are still calling out sick.
Yeah, those lines at BWI, just an absolute dumpster fire. 7 News on your side with team coverage this morning. Reporter Liana Golden tracking security lines at Reagan National this morning, but we're going to start with John Gonzalez to get into the latest on where things stand on Capitol Hill and the politics, John, of what happens next.
Adam, when we were talking about this on Friday morning, things looked promising. Well, here we are Monday morning, and the shutdown isn't over and no clear end in sight. You know, this partial government shutdown, which is impacting the Department of Homeland Security, started back on February 14th, and here we are more than 6 weeks later, and Capitol Hill is gridlocked. And at the center of this debate right now is the deep divide over immigration policy. House Republicans want a plan that fully funds enforcement agencies like U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, while Senate Democrats are pushing for limits and oversight. Both sides have passed their own bills, but neither can get through the other chamber. The Senate plan funds most of DHS, but not everything Republicans want. The House, meanwhile, is pushing a short-term fix, unlikely to pass the Senate.
Immigration enforcement should focus on violent felons who are in this country illegally, not target law-abiding immigrant families or brutalize and in some cases kill American citizens.
This has to stop. The Republicans are not going to be a party to this. They have taken hostage the funding processes of government so that they can impose their radical agenda on the American people, and we can't have any part of it.
So the stalemate here on Capitol Hill continues, and of course, in the meantime, thousands of federal workers are stuck in the middle as this drags on, many still without pay. And with most of the Senate now in recess, we may not have a breakthrough here on Capitol Hill for several days, if not weeks now. Reporting live on Capitol Hill, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
Well, even though emergency funding for TSA agents kicks in this week, there is still concern over how quickly the airports might return to normal. Reporter Liana Golden to pick up our team coverage from there, live from Reagan National Airport. So, Liana, how are things looking there this morning?
Adam, some sense of normalcy returning to Reagan National this morning. You can see there is a steady line here at Terminal 2, but already within the past hour, it has improved. At 5 o'clock, we showed you a very long line far past these ropes here. But as people arrive now at the 6 o'clock hour to catch their flights, things are looking steady. Now, as we mentioned, out of the DMV's airports, BWI was hit the hardest. Throughout the course of this shutdown, wait times up to 4 hours on Saturday, but finally eased back down to more routine operations on Sunday. TSA agents have gone without pay for 6 weeks now, many of them calling out as they struggle to afford the basic necessities. President Trump signed that executive order on Friday. It would allow TSA agents to start getting paid today, but there is concern these long lines could linger until that money actually hits their bank accounts. After the last shutdown ended, I mean, it took several weeks for some agents to receive back pay in full. Until they do, travelers are still advised to arrive early and be prepared for longer than usual wait times.
Let's not forget the fact that my coworkers and I have been working for 43 days without being paid, and we have never wavered in our commitment to secure the flying public and keep our oath to the American people of protecting the transportation systems and their lives, while we have been worried about who's protecting our families at home. So the situation is dire.
My hope is, as you know, former administrator for 4.5+ years, is that most will come back. Look, they're professionals, they're well trained, and they want to do their job. But by the way, they want to get paid for doing it.
And until TSA workers themselves confirm they are getting paid, well, it is just hard to tell how much longer it will be until things fully return to normal.
All right, so Liana, any idea for folks who might have a flight today? Is there a way that they can check online or through an app how long those security lines are?
Adam, certainly they can go online, DCA's website, Dulles BWI as well. You can always check what the wait time is here at DCA. In fact, I just checked right before we went live here, you guys. It's showing about 15 minutes here at Terminal 2 North Checkpoint, so you can check yourself ahead of time to make sure you're ready if you're trying to catch a flight today, guys.
15 minutes. Let's just keep that going all day long for spring breakers. That'd be great. All right, Liana, thanks. Well, until Congress returns from Easter break, you can count on us to bring you the latest developments on the shutdown and those airport security lines.